Okay, so can you tell me how you got into teaching, where you did your CELTA and etc.?
This was back in 1999. I went to do my CELTA course because I had been doing a bit of travelling before, but I didn't want to keep travelling as a tourist. I wanted to find ways of getting to know people in the places I visited a bit better. And so yeah, I had no idea how I would find it. I enjoyed the CELTA, although I was terrified on that first day of teaching practice. And then I went straight into my first full-time job in Hungary.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I realised that I really enjoyed the job itself. And then after that I moved on to a school in Turkey. And
This was teaching general English?
Well, the first job was interesting actually. It was a ministry project, teaching border guards and customs officers, police officers. So that was my first experience of English for specific purposes, which I went back to do much later on. And kind of it was interesting to see how I should have been doing it in that first job. And
so did you get much training, much support in the first job in
that
Hungary?
first job was brilliant, and the reason it was so good is, it was with International House, so it was a kind of a well-known company. So big staff room, so lots of us working together, sharing materials, and a really supportive assistant director. And that was really useful. And they also had regular professional development seminars and things which everyone was encouraged to take part in, so it was really good. And the second job in Turkey was pretty good for that as well, especially the support that you got from your colleagues in the staff room. I think that's one of the most important things, that you share your resources.
Yeah. So what did you do after Turkey?
I returned to the UK and I worked in a private language school in the south of England, in Brighton. And after that was general English and exams as well. And after that I kind of thought that I might stop teaching for a bit, but when I moved back up to Scotland and was job hunting, I realised that actually I'd never stopped enjoying it, and I managed to get regular work again. I started working for University of Glasgow, and in fact while I was there they funded me to do my diploma, which was a real kind of boost to my confidence as well, that they obviously thought I was worth investing in. And while I was there I learnt a lot about teaching English for academic purposes, and I also was trained up as a CELTA trainer, and that was a real shift for me because I just absolutely loved doing the training work, and decided that really I wanted to have more of a focus on teacher education after that. And the balance of doing some CELTA courses and some teaching was a really nice variety to have in a job, so those were happy times.
Okay, so you left University of Glasgow, and that's when you went to do the VSO?
Yes, that's right. So I had applied to do voluntary services overseas many years before I'd done my CELTA, and had been quite rightly turned down for not having any legitimate experience and qualifications to offer. So now that I was a qualified CELTA trainer, I applied again and was snapped up, and went to work as a teacher trainer in Tanzania in East Africa, which was fantastic. It was a brilliant opportunity, very challenging. So teaching in primary schools, classes of 90 in my primary 2 class, but also supporting the primary teachers and working at the teacher training college, training primary teachers and supporting the trainers there as well.
Wow.
So it was great.
So then, did you start thinking what you were going to do when you came back, while you were still in Tanzania, or did your contract just finish?
I was thinking about it a little bit, and I was aware that I didn't really want to move back to the academic English that I was doing at Glasgow, and that ideally I wanted to stay in teacher education. And it was while I was working there that a friend told me about the Masters in International Education and Development at Sussex University. And when I looked at the description on the internet, it just perfectly matched what I'd become so interested in Tanzania. So I came back to the UK and did my Masters, which I've just finished, with a big focus on teacher education, especially in developing countries, which was fascinating.
Fantastic.
Really good. Yeah.
So where do you think you'll go from here?
I've just applied for a job with the British Council, running a national project to support primary and secondary English teachers, So we'll see what happens with that, but I'm hoping to go overseas again, and I'm hoping to find something in teacher education, but possibly not with me in the classroom anymore, and maybe more in a project management role.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.